Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to read the book If You Give a Moose a Muffin by Laura Numroth and illustrated by Felicia Bond. Who wants to tell me what does an author do? You're right, an author writes the words. Who wants to tell me now? What does an illustrator do? You're right. An illustrator draws the pictures. Great job. Okay, so when we're listening for this story, when we're listening to this story, I want you boys and girls to be listening for the word mix and the word scenery. Mix, let's say that 3 times. Mix, mix, mix. Okay? And now, what was this word we were listening for? You're right. Scenery. Scenery, scenery, scenery. Say it 3 times. Scenery, scenery, scenery. Okay, you guys are doing awesome. Make sure that you are listening. Okay. If you give a moose a muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. When he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another, and another, and another. When they're all gone, he'll ask you to make more. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. You heard it? You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. You heard the word mix, you're right. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to think, what does the word mix mean? You'll have to go to the store to get some more muffin mix. You're right, boys and girls. A mix is something that you would buy at a store in a box, and it has everything you need inside of that box to make whatever it is that you're making. So, for example, in our story, he's making muffins, so he's going to buy a box, and everything he needs to make those muffins is going to be in that box. Okay? So maybe not everything you need. A lot of times, boys and girls, when you buy a mix, you still have to add things like water or milk or eggs or that type of thing. But everything else you need in a mix is there. What I want for you to do now is touch your nose if this is something that you could make from a mix. Brownies. Raise your hand if you've ever bought a box or a bag of brownie mix and made brownies. That's one of my favorites. What about a cake? You can make cake from a mix too. What about chickens? No, you can't mix chickens. What about peas? No, you don't buy peas in a mix either. What about cookies? You're right. You can buy cookies in a mix. Boys and girls, sweets are some of my favorites, like brownies and cookies and cakes. And you can buy all of those things in a mix at the store. And it comes with everything you need. It's good to know information, boys and girls. All right, let's keep reading. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. He'll want to go with you. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. When he puts the sweater on, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose. He'll ask for some needle and thread. He'll start sewing. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. So he'll ask for some old socks. He'll make sock puppets. When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show. He'll need some cardboard and paints. Then he'll ask you to help make the scenery. You heard it? What word did you hear? You heard the word scenery? You're right. Let me read that sentence for you again so you can listen for that word. Okay, let's look at the picture. Then he'll ask you to help make the scenery. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to think, what does the word scenery mean in this story? Scenery. He wants him to help make the scenery. Well, I remember they were doing a puppet show. Let me give you a minute to think. Okay. You want to share? Tell me. You're right. Boys and girls, I just had someone share and say that the scenery is the background behind the actors or behind the puppets. It's what the background looks like. So they're painting the background, and then the actors on the stage will be in front of them. And this is the scenery, it's the background. Boys and girls, have you ever been to the Walton Arts Center and watched a play? And behind the actors, there's the scenery. Yeah, a lot of times the scenery takes a long time to set up, and it's really, really pretty. So it's behind the actors. All right, let's keep reading. When the scenery is finished, boys and girls, look at the scenery. This is the scenery. It's all of the background that they painted. Wow, that is a beautiful scenery. They did a great job. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch, but his antlers will stick out. So he'll ask for something to cover them up. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much, he'll knock over the paints. So, he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. Then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. He'll go outside to put it on the clothesline. When he's out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. Uh-oh. What are the blackberry bushes going to make him want? Seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam. He'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if you give him the jam, what's he gonna want to go with it? He'll want a muffin to go with it. Awesome job, guys. Thank you for listening to our story, and thank you for learning what the word mix and what the word scenery mean. I'm going to tell you one more sentence to end on using those words. They were using a paint mix to decorate the scenery. Awesome job, boys and girls. I'll see you next time.